Hey guys, Rusty here at Ugly HP. Today we have an 06 Nissan Murano, however it's said. It's one word I cannot pronounce correctly, or the way it's supposed to be, but as you can see right there, bad axle. This one wasn't clicking, but whenever the guy mashed the gas, you could feel the vehicle shaking. So we already kind of got a head start on it. Took the caliper and rotor off. Caliper is a 14 millimeter. Caliper bracket is a 20 millimeter. On your vehicle speed sensor, if you take that 10 millimeter bolt off and it does not move, you can't get this thing to move, don't fight it, don't break it. Just rebolt it back down and just take it out of its holders. This way you got some slack. But remember, whenever we're pulling this forward to get that axle out, not to be letting that thing stretch like a mofo. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start this. We're going to take this guy off up here, which is a 22, and the other side, I don't know if these are threaded or not, so I don't know if they're going to spin. If they spin, it's going to be a 17. So we'll start there. Okay, so it is spinning, so we're going to have to hold it and bust it at the same time. Like I said, 17, 22, gonna do a little bit of hammering. I do have the caliper zip tied up there. This way you don't have to worry about it crashing on you. So now that we got that out, look, see, we got all that still. We're going to take this guy out right here and take this nut off. Let's see. That one is a 22 also. And this one is a 32 millimeter. So you can either beat on this edge, not on this edge, until the thing pops up, because you're not going to be able to beat that up through there without screwing it up. Or if you have a separator like this, get under the boot until it pushes up. And then next we're going to just shoot this through. Ooh. So now, you know, this is on the right side, so there's a short shaft on this side that connects to a long shaft. All we need to do is separate it right here. So I'm going to take my impact hammer and try to shoot it out this way. You could take a pry bar, tap on it with the hammer. Just be careful because you got your oil pressure sensor right there. You don't want to break that, or the oil cooler lines.
motor.
Okay, so I had to deal with another car, and we put a new hub on there because the other one was feeling rough when we spun it. I had to get to a part where I was using a pry bar and a mallet to beat it out. So here's the difference. This one's all-wheel drive, so let me get it all the way out. So the all-wheel drive one just, you know, as you can see, just slides in there. If yours is non-all-wheel drive, where you see these flanges bolted up, I believe they come this way from what my computer's showing. On a front-wheel drive vehicle, the axle is different. You have to actually unbolt those 3 bolts, and then the axle will come out. So now we can start the process to put our new one on. I'm gonna grab a rag, grease on my hands. So on the new one, if you see that, see how you have a thick spline right there where that blue mark is, and on this side, that means this thing only goes in there one way, or 2 ways, either up or down. So what we need to do is figure out where those thicker splines are. You don't want to sit and try to just put it up there and twist. I know that works for some people. Okay, so now that I don't see that there's thicker splines on that, that means it can go in there anyways. There's probably a different model. Some dry shafts are like that. Let's see. What's killing me is the camera. You know, normally I'd be in this area working. I need to try to position myself better for this. It is being a pain in the butt. I think it's that snap ring that's doing it to me. Whew, mother. I didn't say it. Thinking it. Gonna have to tap it, see if we can tap it in. That spring. Yeah, that spring's screwing with me. So what I'm going to do, because this one did not come with a new nut, we're going to thread the front nut on until it is just about even. This will keep the threads from what they call mushrooming. We're going to line the dry shaft up so it's as straight as possible. Push in on it. Give it some taps. That feels like it's in. Let me look under. Ooh. And yes, that is in. Okay. So, back out here. We can now unthread our nut, which if it's a little stiff, you can just run it off with the gun, like this one is from me beating on it. But your threads are not ruined, so. Catch my breath here for a second. Alright. Slide our axle in. thread right on this hub. Okay, so we are not going to bolt the outside of the axle. We're going to get these bolts in first. Reason why I say don't bolt the axle is because if you're sitting here messing with this and trying to get it in, pull too far out on that, you rip the whole thing out, and it's like a pain in the butt to put back together. So I'll run these guys on. Those are our 22s. Forward. 17. Rehook up our speed sensor cable, wire, feed line, whatever the guy that's trolling my YouTube wants to call it. I always get those guys that are trying to call me out on a DIY channel. It's like, you know, this is a channel for people that work on their stuff at their house. Bumping it always works. Get our front nut on nice and tight, not overly tight. I think it's like 75 foot-pounds. Always use new Carter pins. You need one here or here. They're cheap. You don't want your vehicle to come apart because you use the old one because it's all crappy from you ripping it out. But there you have it, 06 Murano CV axle for an all-wheel drive version. I just got to put on my caliper and rotor. Check us out on Facebook. Hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, keep wrenching.